Aloha, trust your gut covers. I'm Tara, the metabolic therapist, and I'm so happy to meet with you today on this Tune In Tuesday. There's a lot going on all around the United States, and tension and stress may very much be impacting your digestive health too. So today, let's talk about all things tension tamers, how to best take care of our gut health, because stress absolutely impacts the permeability and our absorbability of all these wonderful foods that we're taking in. So we meet here on Tuesdays at noon. I'm here. Please feel free to write your questions as they come up. I'm happy to share my knowledge. Please note, I'm not a doctor. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I have lots of experience with my own trials and tribulations around health. So I coach women struggling with digestive stress. So this is when we meet on Tuesdays to join and share around all things recipes, best healthcare practices on our day-to-day. So happy that you could join us. Please subscribe, hit that like bell. Let me know you're here. I'd love to know how I may best be of service to you. Okay, so two things I want to make sure to cover here today. One is around what happens in our trusty digestive system. So this you might be familiar with. Back in school, remembering our anatomy. This is our digestive system really stretched out from the tongue all the way to the anus. So what happens in here, the small intestines, they live underneath, like kind of like scrunched up and back along the, just behind the large intestine or the colon, okay? So in this stretched out manner, it's easier to see that lots can happen in there, and we can, energy or food scraps, things can get stuck and just lodged in there, and then things can grow up around them. And sometimes you might feel that as you've eaten something and it's hard to move through to the other side. On this channel, we are not afraid of talking about what happens on the other side. This is really important because apparently the average American is running around with over 17 pounds of impacted fecal matter in their gut. So this is a bigger picture of the colon. So what I'm happy to share today is look here. See how you eat some food. Here's the tongue, the esophagus, the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, and then things start going down the small intestine into the large intestine. So note here, the small intestine feeds into the large intestine. So that is right here and is about right here on the left hip. Around the left hip is where the small intestine feeds into the large intestine. And then before we have a bowel movement, all of that matter has to actually go up against gravity, over, down, and then out the anus. So and this is on average about 5 feet on each human. So have you ever felt like really bloated and constipated and you just, you're just waiting for the body to naturally move out some matter that may have gotten stuck in here? So the muscle action that happens from the esophagus all the way down to the anus, it's called peristalsis. And so it's the natural movement of the body. And you may be familiar with this, especially first thing in the morning, when all things are going smoothly. When we wake up, our body naturally needs to defecate. So a bowel movement is healthy and normal first thing in the morning. If you're needing a cup of coffee to stimulate that bowel movement, that's a sign that we can work on some peristalsis strength, as well as helping your body to move naturally. So it's not relying on caffeine to do what it's designed to do. Sometimes if it doesn't, if I wake up and the bowel movement isn't, soon upon waking, it sometimes happens after that first drink of fresh water as it moves through. So just my inquiry to you is to self-reflect for the next 3 days to a week, and see how long does it take for you to have a bowel movement, especially in the morning. Okay. And one way that we can support this, I really wanted to share this self-care practice because there's a lot of tension and a lot of stress out there. And if you're anything like me, sometimes the stress in the outer world ends up tightening and constricting within my body. And then that happens all along the digestive system. So I can tell that when I'm stressed, my bowel movements take longer, my digestion process takes longer. And my invitation for you today is to practice some self-care massage. So I'd love to share with you the technique. So if you can imagine that the colon looks like this in the body. And so, and in here, there's a sphincter right there from the small intestine into the large intestine. Okay, this is also known as the ileocecal valve. I try to not go too sciencey, yet I love this stuff. So what happens is right there, we can have some like pockets of buildup, because like I mentioned earlier, all of the matter has to travel against gravity and over. So depending on our hydration levels, how stressed we are, that can impact what we call the mobility of the matter trying to make its way through. So you're going to spend some time massaging right there in front of that right hip flexor, that right hip bone. Just massage in there. And I want you to move up. Again, imagining your colon on the inside of the body. So I can do this sitting or standing. My preference is lying down. But what I want you to see and focus on is this 5 feet of intestinal organ that very much can benefit from a little bit of a healing self-massage. And so I get my hands in there. Then also I do a counterclockwise massage, starting there at that right hip. Actually, forgive me because we're mirroring here. It's a clockwise, but it's starting at about 10 p.m., maybe 9. You want to move in a circular motion. Thank you, body. And while we do it, appreciating the body for all of the systems, all of the cellular strength, all the processes that clean and rejuvenate and rebuild our beautiful body. I enjoy speaking to my systems, my organs, as if they're a friend. And yes, of course, I can be cheesy and I feel silly sometimes. Yet my body tends to respond really well. I don't know if you've heard that saying that your body hears everything that your mind says. So when we're like beating ourselves up, down in the dumps about ourselves, it impacts our body's ability to heal and repair itself. So I do my best to strengthen the self-talk and treat my body as if it's my best friend, because it is my oldest ally. All right, so there's some about self-massage and how to bring soothing, healing energy to the digestive system. So again, if you're just hopping on now, welcome to the Tuesday Trust Your Guts Club. I am Tara, the metabolic therapist, here to answer your questions. Ask me anything. I'll let you know how I sort out some day-to-day health hacks to best take care of myself, as well as many of my clients. I do metabolic makeovers with one-on-one clients so that we can customize a program that works specifically for your unique history as well as what you're dealing with. So set up your discovery call and we can see if there's good alignment and how I can be of best service to you. All right. So one other thing I want to make sure to share with you today. I'll do my best to not express my opinion too much on the matter. However, I simply haven't felt good about the new practice that's happening in so many public places where it's become the norm to have a thermometer gun pointed at the forehead. And there's just something that feels totally off about that for me. And since the beginning, I've been putting my wrist out instead and saying, no, please, I prefer my wrist. And I want to share that with you because not once has anybody tried to say to me, oh, no, I have to do it there. Oh, we have to do it there. It's not. We can read the temperature from the forehead. We can also do it on the wrist. And this has been done way before 2020. So this new behavior, and I see it like in cars, when people are checking in to go places and there's, this tool shaped like a gun pointed to the forehead, and it just for every which way feels off to me. So I want to share that tip and trick for you so that you can begin to try it out for yourself and see if the exchange is reciprocal and in respect. Okay. All right. So if you guys are just joining in, please type some questions. Let me know you're here. Happy to share with you knowledge and, of course, my biased opinions on all things gut health. My name's Tara, the metabolic therapist, and happy to share. We're building this YouTube channel in an effort for a few things. One, I want to get better at being in front of the camera and sharing my passions and my life's work with a global community. It seems that the younger generations are growing up with ease around simply being themselves in front of the camera. So I myself am trying to get better at it. Feels really vulnerable. And each time I do it, I feel more comfortable. So there's that reason. And then next is, how do we create and experience connection across these screens? So I'm seeing lots of people role modeling it. And I too love to share in authenticity, intimacy, health, and fun. So I'm committing myself to learning and contributing to an online ohana, and ohana is the word in Hawaiian for family, to where we can meet and share in all things gut health, personal well-being, connection, and emotional intelligence. So, all right, ohana, I'm so grateful for our time together today. Join in again next Tuesday at the top of noon Hawaiian time for the Trust Your Guts Club. And until then, feel free to like, share, send me a message. I'd love to know what you're interested in, how I may be of service. So have a beautiful day. Sleep well. Send some good healing energy to all governments around the world. May the highest good be in order for all humans, and may there be peace on earth. So thank you so much. Trust your gut clubbers, and a hui ho. Aloha.